Well, very good morning, Los Angeles and California, and welcome to a beautiful Monday here in the City of Angels, a day in which we are celebrating the potential of our young people and the embodiment of our state. An ability to address our challenges while provide greater opportunity. And this is amazing to be here today at Tiny Dots Early Education Center in the heart of downtown Los Angeles. And let me start by thanking our governor, Gavin Newsom, who I've worked with incredibly closely during this pandemic, during other challenges that we face. And he and his administration, together with our extraordinary California legislature, have allocated in years of some of the toughest pain we've gone through, but also some of the greatest opportunities because of the resources of a budget surplus, a vision of investing in all of our people, all of our communities, all of our young people, addressing all of our challenges. And so this center is one of many work sites. You could multiply this throughout the city and throughout the state, that is hosting youth in their early childhood education student advancement program. One of a number of programs that is part of our youth core, our jobs core for California, enabling young people to see pathways that they only imagined open up before them. This is a strong, talented, equity-driven employment pipeline that is going to bring college graduates, young people to rewarding careers in child development, and many other careers as well. This exciting initiative embodied here in this center wouldn't have been possible without the tireless inspirational work of Executive Director Lisa Wilkin, Director Anselmo Sanchez of the Child Development Consortium, and the Director of Tiny Dots, Telma Rojas. So let's give them a round of applause and thank them for having us here today. Thank you for everything you do to lift up Angelino youth and our commitment to sending young people on a path to prosperity. In a city where I always say we have more raw ingredients for the most successful careers, the most innovative lives than any city in the world. But what we have to do is connect the dots. It's fitting that we're here at Tiny Dots. Connect those dots for people who might not know somebody in the entertainment industry, might not know somebody who's the mayor, might not know somebody who's in business, might not know somebody who's a teacher. But once we connect them to those people, they can see those pathways open up for them. And it's really a whole host of angels who have brought us here today. First and foremost, and you're going to be hearing from many of these folks, I want to thank Josh Friday, who is the Chief Service Officer, California Volunteers, Office of the Governor, cabinet official in the Newsom administration. Once a mayor, always a mayor. He was mayor of his hometown, Novato. And the reason we're here today is really because of your vision, your inspiration. I know you give a lot of credit to the governor, and you're supposed to, but I know that he is very lucky to have you putting that vision forward for what we are celebrating here today. I also want to thank mi hermano Francisco Rodriguez, who is the chancellor of the largest community college district in the United States of America, who I've worked with to make sure that community college is free to everybody here and inspired the state to do the same. Our great assembly member, Wendy Carrillo, who is starting Monday out with us. Thank you, Wendy, for being with us and being a great voice for equity and opportunity. And our exceptional council member, also a state vet, Kevin De Leon, who is the council member for this district, our past president pro tem of the Senate, and great visionary. She couldn't be with us today, but she and her team, Deputy Mayor Brenda Shockley, have really helped in my administration do all this work, and I want to thank her entire team, as well as our general managers, Carolyn Hull, Jimmy Kim, Abigail Marquez, and Lisa Salazar from our youth, families, rec and parks, and economic workforce and development departments. Give them a round of applause and thank them, too, for the great work that they do every single day. And you know, I want to say that all these folks are part of the coalition that got us through the last 2 years of the pandemic, when families couldn't eat, when seniors were by themselves, when young people were falling behind in school, when we were wondering how and if we would get out of this. This was the coalition that led us through. But I also want to shine a light on the reason why we are here today, to show off the extraordinary work of all the young people who you see behind us that are participating in one of the 14 programs being funded by California for All. And you'll get to hear from some of them today, to hear their stories, not have us speak about them, but have them bring their stories forward. Because a bright future is something we all are committed to, in all of our communities, for all of our people. And the pathway to opening up those opportunities is now paved with the help of $553 million from Governor Newsom's California Volunteers for Youth Employment Program, funded by our legislature, which is truly a game-changing statewide investment expansion of our youth workforce development programs throughout California for All initiative. And this statewide investment is so meaningful because we've seen that young people, whether it's up in Sacramento or the Bay Area and the Central Valley, in San Diego, the Inland Empire, or here, really are our greatest hope and our greatest resource. And Tiny Dots, where we stand today, is just one example of the more than 14 programs being funded through this historic investment. If the last 2 years taught us anything, my friends, it's that access to child care is paramount. Our Rec and Parks centers stayed open even when our schools were closed, because working essential workers that had to go do those things in hospitals, in our city departments and other places, had no choice and had to find a place for our children to be. And access to child care is paramount. And these child care workers are the unsung heroes of our communities. But whether it's at LAUSD or in child care and so many other professions, we're facing a shortage of workers in the future. So look at that problem of us needing that care help, but not having enough people to provide that care, of having the funding finally, but not the people. So this is what this is about, bringing together the young people who are the brilliant seeds of the flowers that will come in the future, but who also understand that they are serving in their own community. It's macro and it's micro. Solving those macro problems, don't worry, it's just a June bug. They'll even land right there.
Good luck.
It's a little bit out of date right now. I know it's August, but it's a June bug. We will have folks doing macro work to address our challenges, but it's really micro work because each one of these young people has a story, has a future, has a present that we want to invest in. And so we add more than just jobs to this. There's a paid summer internship opportunity, yes. There's career development workshops. How do you put a resume together? How do you do an interview? Financial scholarships to make sure there's no barrier for what you want to learn next. And then one-on-one mentorship guidance that helps students that are majoring in child development in this case. And just as importantly, we're taking equity to make sure this is an equity-driven employment pipeline connecting young people to community college where their lives will change. And with the California for All funding, we will not only expand this program to more and more students over the next 2 years, we're not just building career pipelines, we're building a powerful movement for and of families and early care providers in our communities so that our youngest children have everything they need to thrive. So along with the funding to several departments, helping to create 4,000 jobs for Angelenos 16 to 30 years old who haven't been dealt the luckiest hand in life always, who themselves might need a second or a third chance, who they deserve a little extra support to really level that playing field, and to get guidance on knowing what careers are available, what skills they need, and to make sure their dreams are fulfilled. These programs, 14 in all, as I mentioned, are arming our newly employed youth and benefiting our city with experiences for everything from maintaining paths along the LA River if they want to be environmentalists or see that LA River connect us, or to be able to have safe and fun gathering spaces in our city parks and reducing the violence in our communities through things like summer night lights, supporting young relatives through schoolwork at home where you can get paid to help your younger sibling actually catch up and become potentially a future teacher through tutoring sessions, to internships within one of our great city departments for those interested in exploring a future in city employment, which I can heartily recommend. So these jobs provided by these partnerships are not just a down payment on futures for our youth, but an investment in our communities. And we all know that COVID-19 showed us that when we have challenges, they're not faced and felt equally. But it's our job to take that disproportionate impact that the pandemic has had on communities of color, on immigrant communities, on low-income communities, on people with disabilities and health vulnerabilities, to make sure whether it's housing insecurity or job loss, mental and physical health outcomes, we want to make sure that we put forward those programs to solve those problems and to serve those communities. Take our Angeleno Corps. Unlike anything done in the city before, our Angeleno Corps members have a history, many of them, of homelessness, or they have emancipated or come out of the foster care system or the justice system. And no matter what their individual story, and I just went to their graduation, it was one of the most inspiring days of my 9+ years as mayor, all 400 of our Angeleno Corps members share one essential thing in common. a passion to serve their communities. These are folks who have been dealt some of the toughest challenges in life, and they could have come out of it bruised or battered or thinking, this is something I don't want to be doing, depressed about their futures, and yet they are the inspiration. They come out more forceful than folks who haven't faced those challenges, of saying, I want to serve the community, I want to change my city, and I want to make the world a better place. And they've made this commitment to dismantling unjust barriers to youth, helping them find their way to path to prosperity, becoming folks who are addressing climate crisis. They are doing some of the most important work in the world today. And every single one of these investments is a no-brainer. I can't think of a better use of our public resources. I can't think of a more apt reflection of our values and priorities as a city than the creation of these programs that serve our youth. And I implore young people who might be sitting around today, school started, so you should be at school, but if you are maybe out of school already, because this goes up to 30 years old, go to HireLAYouth.com and check this out. We've got a whole host of programs there, but your future is just waiting for you. Or maybe you're watching this a couple days from now and you're seeing this. Go to HireLAYouth.com and get connected with these state programs. Get connected. You're the best candidate, and we want you. It's days like this that really fill me with optimism. When you see a reflection of the brilliance of our city, overflowing with stories that are just waiting to be written. And I know that these young Angelenos are the ones who will write them. So with that, let me turn it over to Josh Friday, a dear friend, as I said, a former but always mayor, public servant in the truest sense of the word, and a visionary. Our Chief Service Officer, Josh Friday, thank you for being here, and thank you for your outstanding leadership.
That was awesome. Thank you, Mayor Garcetti. And because we are here today to acknowledge and announce and celebrate this new program, the Californians for All Youth Jobs Corps, to create opportunities for young people in this city to serve, it's perfect in many ways that we get to announce it with Mayor Garcetti. So a point of personal privilege, would like to say how meaningful it is to be here to create this program with you side by side, someone who has literally spent his entire career as a public servant, but also has been an inspiration to me personally, inspiration to me in my military career, an inspiration to me in my local government career. And today we get to stand here together along with his other partners at the city to inspire and create a new generation of public servants. And that means so much to me. It means so much to the governor. So thank you all for being here today. Today we are announcing an investment of $53.25 million into the city of Los Angeles to create 4,000 With this investment, we will be creating 4,000 jobs for our low-income youth, our foster youth, our formerly incarcerated, our young people who are involved in the health systems that, as Mayor said, need that extra help and that hand. But with this investment, we are saying to those young people that we value you. We think that you have something important to contribute. Not only do we think, we know you have something important to contribute. Your life experience has value, and we need you to contribute. And not only do you have value, and not only do you have something to contribute, but I'll let you in on a little secret. We actually need you. If we're going to solve, and I want to make sure that all the young people who are listening to this who aren't at school know and hear that if we're going to solve our biggest challenges, climate change, poverty, homelessness, education disparities, racism, we need our young people to step up. We need your passion. We need your energy. We need your life experience. And we need you also to be equipped to tackle these problems. We need you to have the experience of working with people who come from different backgrounds and think differently than you to actually solve these issues. And we need you inspired to lead this state into the future. And that's why this program is so important to us. We're going to get a chance to hear today from really an impressive group of Los Angeles leaders who are going to talk about the impact of this program. And most importantly, we're going to hear from some of the young people who are involved in the program and doing it, and about the impact on their lives. But let me just take a quick second to provide some context of what this program means to the state of California and why it's so important to California volunteers and to Governor Gavin Newsom that we're here in Los Angeles today. We believe that if we're going to solve our biggest challenges facing California, if we're going to deal with the political division in our society that is ripping our social fabric apart. And if we're going to create pathways for future generations, we have to call on Californians and create the opportunity for them to serve. And that's what this program is doing. So these young people, these 4,000 young people from Los Angeles, they're going to be joining a statewide effort. This program is a statewide program of $185 million statewide. And these 4,000 people are going to be joining a movement, as you heard Mayor Garcetti say, of young people, 20,000 young people across the state between the Youth Jobs Corps, our Climate Corps, and our College Corps. A force of young Californians, literally 3 times the size of the entire Peace Corps, deployed here in California to solve our community's problems. And that is inspiring. And that is something that all of us should be proud of. Y ahora hablo para nuestras familias que hablan español. Youth Jobs Corps es un programa nuevo que ayudará a los jóvenes de Los Ángeles a encontrar empleo centrado en ayudar a la comunidad. El Estado y la ciudad de Los Ángeles estamos trabajando juntos para crear oportunidades para nuestros jóvenes. Este programa ayuda a los jóvenes, ayuda a la comunidad y ayuda al Estado. Todos ganamos. So I want to end by thanking our partners who made this possible. I do give a lot of credit to Governor Gavin Newsom, whose vision made this whole program possible today, but also his partners, Assemblymember Carrillo and her colleagues in the legislature. Thank you for investing in this program. I want to thank our city partners, Chancellor Rodriguez, Councilmember De Leon, so much for your leadership, and most importantly, thank the young people who have stepped up and are stepping up to be a part of this program, be a part of Angelino Corps, and be a part of so many programs that are helping our state move forward. Thank you so much. As Chief Service Officer and a military veteran, I could not be more proud today. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Chief Service Officer Friday. And I know you're wearing Ukraine colors there, but I think they're also Navy colors, so go Navy. Thank you so much. We'll hear from our electeds after we hear from a couple students first, and I wanted to invite them. This is probably their first press conference, so don't worry, don't be nervous. Speak from your heart, because we want to hear your stories. This is really about giving youth voice, not calling them the leaders of tomorrow, but recognizing them as the leaders of today. So Jennifer Perez and Genesis Paua are going to come forward. Jennifer participated in the Early Childhood Education Student Advancement Program and interned here at Tiny Dots. She's now a full-time employee at Tiny Dots as a teacher. And Genesis, yeah, give her a round of applause for that. And Genesis graduated from LA Valley College, go Valley, with an associate's degree in early childhood education, got a fan over here, and plans to attend CSUN. She's currently part of the Early Childhood Education Student Advancement Program, and they're going to share with us a little bit their experience and how it changed their lives. So Jennifer and Genesis, the podium's yours. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Hello, my name is Jennifer Perez. I was given the opportunity today to talk about my experience participating in the Early Childhood Education Student Advancement Program while I was a student at LA City College. This program allowed me to gain more information about my career. For instance, through the coaching sessions offered in the program, I was able to obtain a child development permit. I also participated in a paid internship, which helps students who are interested in working and not sure where to start. As starting this program, I had zero experience working with children, besides babysitting my own family members' children. I started the first day of my internship at this exact location where we're standing, Tiny Dots. As I entered the infant classroom on my first day, I realized how timid the children were because they were seeing a new face. But as I started playing and singing with them, I realized they started to become comfortable and wanting to gain a relationship with me. The internship was an exciting time to actually take in that experience, to observe from others and ask questions. Due to my hard work and this opportunity, I was eventually given the chance to join Tiny Dots and become part of their team once I was done with my internship. I am currently going to Cal Poly Pomona, and I'm finishing my last year there. I hope to become a preschool teacher in the city of Los Angeles.
Awesome. Yeah.
The ESC program, Student Advancement Program, has opened doors for me and will continue to open doors for others by supporting us with our educational and career goals. Gracias al alcalde Garcetti y su equipo por la oportunidad de participar en este programa enfocado en la educación de primera infancia.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Great job. Great job. Good for Jennifer. All right. Francis, go.
Hello, everyone. My name is Genesis Bawa. As Mayor Garcetti said, I recently graduated from Los Angeles Valley College and will be attending California State University Northridge this fall, where I plan to obtain my bachelor's degree in liberal studies and my multiple subject teaching credential. As an aspiring elementary teacher, I am super grateful to be part of the Early Childhood Education Student Advancement Program. Through this program, I have been able to obtain resources and additional support, such as one-on-one mentoring and a financial award and coaching sessions. More importantly, this program is providing me with hands-on experience that is specific to my career. My first day as an intern is a day I will never forget. I was warmly welcomed by the students, and hearing them call me Teacher Genesis for the first time gave me butterflies in my stomach. This unforgettable experience is motivation for me to reach my final goal of becoming an elementary teacher. Thank you so much, Mayor Garcetti and the Student Advancement Program, for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Genesis. Great job. You're super. Wow. They say short speeches win elections, so I'm voting for both of you guys. That first guy went on for a long time. I don't know who he was. I now want to introduce representatives of two instrumental organizations that are making this dream possible, making the Childhood Education Student Advancement Program a reality. First, as I mentioned, is Chancellor Dr. Francisco Rodriguez, and also who you probably know from other things that we've done together around our College Promise work and just community colleges in general, but also our Executive Director of the Child Development Consortium of Los Angeles, Lisa Wilkins. So, Chancellor, why don't you come forward, and then Lisa, if you'd come forward too.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Muy buenos días a todos. Un placer estar aquí con ustedes esta mañana. Good morning to everybody. Mr. Mayor, everybody behind you, all the students, each one of them, because of your promise, your dedication, and that of Senator De Leon back then, Assemblywoman Carrillo, all of our friends in the state legislature and the governor, every Californian now has the opportunity to receive 2 years of tuition-free education. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. 2 years. And not just for first-time, full-time, but because of the work of Assemblymember Santiago, now any student returning to college can receive the same benefit. Well, what a pleasure it is to stand with the City of Los Angeles and the state of California to uplift the partnership with Mayor Garcetti and the Governor's California Volunteer for Youth Employment Program and the California for All initiative, an initiative that provides transitional work and employment-based social services to youth that you've heard of today and young adults between the ages of 16 and 30. The goals, the primary goals of this ECE and Child Development Partnership and for these professionals are clear, and they are indeed compelling. First and foremost, to increase employment, develop the career pathways. In this case, we're talking about early childhood education, and to strengthen the capacity of our city, our community, and the state of California, as you heard Mr. Friday talk about, address the key issues that are plaguing and impacting disproportionate communities in California. We're here to state LACCD is all in, empowering and incentivizing our youth and young adults to address these challenges in our communities while learning key skills, competencies to help them prepare for the future and for careers are components of a winning formula. LACCD is proud to be a pilot program in the Early Child Education Student Advancement Program. And Teacher Genesis, Teacher Jennifer, what a wonderful way to get head start here in your professional career. This collaboration between these wonderful partners here provides financial incentives, quarterly advisement sessions, as you heard, one-on-one mentorship, and paid ECE. And we at LACD have tremendous capacity to grow this program, not in just this discipline, but in the other disciplines that have been mentioned. Take, for example, we have 12 Associate of Art degrees in early childhood education and 8 short-term certificates in this particular field alone. Close to 5,000 students are enrolled today, right now, in those programs. Think about that as a pipeline for the workforce, for the future of the city of Los Angeles, and for the state of California. We have child development centers at all 9 of our LACCD colleges that serve as not just a teaching environment, but learning laboratories for these wonderful professionals in the ECE area. So, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Friday, colleagues who are all around us, honored guests, LACCD is all in for the future of Los Angeles and the future of California. Thank you so much.
Hi, good morning, and welcome to the Tiny Dots Early Education Center, one of our nationally accredited early childhood programs in Los Angeles. Child Development Consortium of Los Angeles has had the great privilege of partnering with the Mayor's Office and the LA Community College District to host interns from the Early Childhood Education Student Advancement Program in our centers, including here at Tiny Dots. In each of the last 2 summers, 25 child development students worked side by side with the teachers in our centers to provide care and learning opportunities for the children. The interns had the opportunity to see firsthand how children grow and develop and gain an understanding of the early childhood teacher's role and what the work of providing a high-quality program entails. The internship program has been beneficial to us as a provider of early education. Having interns in the centers has allowed for more individual attention to the children and extra hands in the classroom to assist the staff. The Student Advancement Program gave us the opportunity to observe the students over the period of weeks to see how they interacted with the children and the teaching staff, and gave the student an opportunity to see what it was like to work with young children. At the culmination of the internship period, we were able to hire 5 of those interns as permanent CDCLA staff members. And we're hoping to have the same success with the next cohort. We are very grateful to the mayor for his vision and leadership in spearheading this effort to guide more individuals into the field of early childhood education, and look forward to continuing this partnership in the future.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll keep providing them. Don't worry. You keep taking them. We'll keep providing them. Thank you so much to both of you for really embodying this program. One of, as I mentioned, 14 that is funded through the governor and the state legislature. And they've been praised, but Assemblymember Wendy Carrillo, as one member of the Assembly, has always really put an emphasis on making sure those pathways in communities of color, low-income communities, are available to everyone. She's been a fierce champion. We're so proud that she represents this area and this child care center. Please welcome Wendy Carrillo.
Thank you, and good morning. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you to all of the distinguished guests that are here today. But most importantly, I just want to give it up to all the young people that are here. Yeah. Can we get a round of applause for all of them? I think Jennifer, I believe, said that she was used to babysit your younger brothers and sisters, right? I am the eldest of 5. I have 4 younger sisters, and when I was I think a sophomore at Roosevelt High School, I went through a program called the Regional Occupation Program, where I learned my first job was at Sears, and they helped me develop my resume. And when I was talking to a mentor, they said, well, you know, what have you done? And I said, well, I've only babysat my little sisters. And he said, you didn't just only babysit. Have you read to them? Do you teach them their ABCs? Do you teach them life skills? Are you with them to make sure that they are safe and that they are okay? And I said, yes, absolutely. I never thought that that was a skill, but it absolutely is. And why I share that is because I think a lot of young people in our community do things that are incredibly skillful, and yet aren't recognized or don't recognize those skills amongst themselves. And this is why this program is so incredibly important. I have the privilege of chairing the Budgets of 4 Budget Committee on State Administration, where this wonderful program came through, and we had many wonderful conversations with our Chief Service Officer, Mr. Friday. And I said to him, there is a difference between equality and equity. The city of Los Angeles is the largest city in the state of California, second largest in the nation. The district that I represent includes a lot of communities in incredible need. And if we're going to do this, I want to make sure that the city of Los Angeles has more than its fair share to ensure that those resources, that funding, those tax dollars that we're all putting into the general fund come back here to our community. That is the investment that we are making. That is why the partnership with the governor's office and with the leadership in the legislature, we are able to move $53 million? $53 million to the city of Los Angeles. And with the state funding for Californians for All Youth Jobs Corps program, I just remember being a young 14, 16, 18, 20-year-old in the city just trying to figure out what my life was going to be. And I'm so glad to be in a position where we are able to offer these same resources right here at home to young people in our communities. Unas pocas palabras en español. Yo soy Wendy Carrillo. Yo represento al Distrito 51 en la Asamblea Estatal. Yo soy la mayor de 5 hermanas. Y cuando estaba creciendo, como dijo Jennifer, yo también cuidé de mis hermanitas cuando eran pequeñas. Y cuando tuve la primera oportunidad de hacer mi resumen para un trabajo, me preguntaron qué es lo que había hecho. Y yo dije solamente, yo he solamente cuidado a mis hermanas. Y la persona que me estaba ayudando me dijo, no solamente has hecho eso, has ayudado que aprendan a leer, que estén cuidadas, que estén bien, les lees, les estás dando actividades para que ellas puedan crecer en un buen ambiente. Y eso es algo que quizás muchas personas, digamos, de menores de edad, no saben que es algo que es importante, que es algo que puede avanzar sus carreras. Y por eso estamos aquí para decir que programas como este son importantes y vitales y críticos para poder avanzar a la gente joven de nuestra comunidad. Yo tengo el placer de tener un puesto en la asamblea donde tengo la oportunidad de hablar con el gobernador sobre el presupuesto, especialmente con el señor Freiman, para no solamente avanzar este programa al estado estatal, pero para decir que la ciudad de Los Ángeles tiene la mayor necesidad y necesita los mayores recursos, porque somos la ciudad más grande a través del estado y la segunda más grande a través de la nación. Y estos recursos de $53 millones van a poder avanzar comunidades desde el este de Los Ángeles hasta el oeste y el sur central, para decir que estamos invirtiendo los dólares necesarios para nuestra comunidad y para la gente joven de nuestra comunidad. Así que muchas gracias, y sé que vamos a avanzar y vamos a salir adelante todos juntos. Thank you very much.
And finally, the council member for this district, as I mentioned, he is a veteran of Sacramento, of those budget wars, of putting progressive values to work, and we wouldn't be here without his great champion of this. So come on forward, Kevin De Leon.
Good morning, muy buenos días. Good morning to each and every one of you. Mayor Eric Garcetti, I want to thank you very much for bringing us here together. I want to thank you very much for 9.5 incredible years of being mayor, chief executive of the second largest city in the United States of America. Josh, my good friend, I want to thank you very much for your incredible leadership as always. And I know that you were just recently mayor of Novato. You had to step down to take on larger responsibilities, but I can tell you this, I'm glad that you did. I'm glad you did. Wendy Carrillo, our chair of Sub 4 Budget Committee, I want to thank you very much, because your advocacy, not just in general of these types of programs or the dollars, but the equitable part is really important, because I oftentimes like to think, when I was at the helm, the leader of the California State Senate, that equity became a big part before equity has now become quite fashionable now. Back in the day, I think LA's delegation historically has always underperformed in terms of where the dollars came from, and dollars always were swayed up north, in the Bay Area, because, the electeds over there overperformed. But I think what you did, and Sub 4 Chair, is you demanded through your vote and the vote of your colleagues to make sure that all of our young folks here get what they deserve, because of the very fact that we are the vast majority of the state of California. So if it's about equity, that means that LA always will get the most money. That's not always the case, but we demand it, and I want to thank you very much. Francisco, as Mayor Eric Garcia mentioned a few moments ago, the chair, I should say not the chair, but the chancellor, the largest community college district. I want to thank you very much for your leadership, because it's not just about Cal State University system. It's not just about private independent colleges. It's not just about the UCs, the premier, public research university on planet Earth, but it's about the community colleges, which is the backbone of our economy. It's going to be the backbone of LA. So I want to thank you very much. Let's give it up also, too, for our wonderful chair. Now, I'm just going to say a couple of things very, very quickly, because this is a sad reality. But LA and many other cities throughout the state of California, when it comes to communities of color, we have been a pipeline, not to the community colleges or not to the UCs or Cal States, but rather to the California correctional facilities, whether it be Folsom, Chino, Vacaville, whether it be Pelican Bay, whether it be San Quentin or elsewhere. And it's always been our role to make sure that we disrupt the school to prison pipeline, because when you look at the zip codes, it's the zip codes, we know where they are. You don't need a researcher from Stanford, UCLA, or SC. We know exactly who's in that pipeline. We know exactly geographically where they're coming from. That's why this investment is a huge investment. Josh just mentioned a few moments ago, it's because we believe in each and every one of you. Regardless of who you are and regardless of where you come from, the color of your skin, who you love, which God you pray to, and yes, regardless of your legal status, you're all human beings, you're all Californians, you're all Angelinos that deserve dignity and respect. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So that's why this is a huge step forward. And I just want to thank the collaborative efforts, because this is not easy. To get this done and grind it, the mayor, grinding it out hard, Josh and his leadership with our governor, Gavin Newsom, Wendy, just making sure, as chair of Sub 4, it has to get approved in that committee, first and foremost. If it doesn't make it into the trailer bill, to the budget, bill altogether when we vote on it, in both the Assembly as well as the Senate. So it has so many authors and so many parents to make sure this comes to fruition. But it starts with these, ladies and gentlemen that are behind me, I should say. I just want to say felicidades. Unas palabras muy breves. Hoy día es un paso gigantesco, sin lugar a dudas, porque estamos invirtiendo en nuestra juventud y el futuro. Jóvenes súper jovenazas como Jennifer y como Genesis, que van a liderar en el futuro, porque la inversión de más de $50 millones es una inversión en el bienestar económico, el bienestar físico, el bienestar mental, psicológicamente de nuestra juventud, por el simple hecho que nuestros códigos postales geográficamente, en las zonas más humildes, que nosotros merecemos mucho más aquí en nuestra sociedad, aquí en Los Ángeles y aquí en California. Gracias a nuestro querido alcalde, presidente municipal, jefe de gobierno, Eric Garcetti. Gracias a todos.
Thank you so much. In Spanish, I'm going to say a couple words and then pass it over to Shandela Contreras, who's going to take us home. El compromiso de poner a nuestros jóvenes en el camino hacia la prosperidad. And I know our assembly member, after she takes a selfie, has to get up to Sacramento. So let's give her another round of applause and thank her, because I know she has to get out of here. But este compromiso es profundo en nuestro estado dorado. Y eso es más que obvio por la dedicación y el liderazgo de muchas personas aquí hoy. Y quiero resaltar la razón por la cual estamos aquí, para hablar sobre el trabajo de todos los jóvenes aquí presentes que participan en uno de los 14 programas financiados por California para Todos. Y este es un programa, una visión de prosperidad, de igualdad, de equidad para todos los jóvenes de Los Ángeles y de California. Gracias al gobernador Newsom, a Josh Friday, señor Friday, secretario Friday, y todos los miembros de este equipo, porque con oportunidades a proveer los recursos en comunidades que merecen estos recursos, tenemos las oportunidades a construir más trabajos, más oportunidades para estas comunidades, estos vecindarios, esta gente, estos estudiantes, y necesitamos ellos críticamente. With that, Shandela Contreras, who participated in our very first cohort ever of the Angelino Corps and is a 2022 finalist and ambassador for Los Angeles Youth Poet Laureate, one of our proud positions. She provided service hours at Expo Center's Amundsen Senior Citizen Center. She's going to share a poem about her experience that'll take us home. Thank you again, everybody, for tuning in, for listening in, for participating in. If you're young, go again to that website, check it out, join us. If you're somebody with a great opportunity for a young person, contact us as well, because we can weave you into this program as well. But please give it up for Chandela Contreras.
Thank you, Eric Garcetti. Hello, my name is Chandela Contreras, and I'm a rising sophomore at the University of Southern California, majoring in creative writing. So I participated in Angelino Corps, which is a 10-month paid service program for the 2021 through 2022 cohort. And I'm so very grateful that California for All will provide funding in order for programs like Angelino Corps to exist and continue to exist. So being a part of the very first cohort, I gained the experience of a lifetime working at my placement worksite, the Amundsen Senior Center. Part of the mission for Angelino Corps members was to rebuild community during such a pivotal time when so many older people who were and still are very vulnerable to the virus could not really step out into the community. And the program supports students to meet our educational goals while gaining work experience and earning a stipend. I was able to establish and teach a creative writing class at the Senior Center, applying my academic pursuits to my work experience because of the Angelino Corps program, and it has been an absolute joy for me. So I shared the knowledge that I was learning at USC to educate the seniors on writing techniques, and I have them explore the craft of writing through developing personal essays, poetry, creative nonfiction pieces. The generational overlap in the sense of creative writing and literature is that everyone's stories feed off of each other's experiences, and I'm a firm believer that the voices of the past continue to shape the voices of the future. And I'm very excited to release the Amundsen Seniors Anthology titled Bells Toll Ad Infinitum by late December and continue the class for more years to come. So without the Angelino Corps, I would not have been able to work at the Senior Center, now officially part of the City of Los Angeles employee family, while of course still attending college. Angelino Corps paved the way for me to receive income for college expenses and to help my family with a monthly stipend. I was able to develop a schedule that balanced working and healing the community while learning and mentally growing in my academic spaces. Now the next cohort of youth will get access to similar responsibilities and an opportunity to elevate themselves and their surrounding neighborhoods, and it is with great gratitude for California for All. California for All will be the beacon of light for the youth, and the City of Los Angeles is proud to have them in our network, accelerating the future agents of change. Now I'm going to recite an original poem that I wrote for the richness and excellence of this community, this vibrant and diverse LA community that has dealt with so many obstacles but still displays nothing other than brilliance. This poem is called Scope of a Diamond in the Rough, and it was formed out of my reflection of my Angelino Corps experience and seeing other community building organizations such as Scope that believe in Los Angeles youth. Once again, this is called Scope of a Diamond in the Rough. Take a look around at the scope of Los Angeles. The black and brown beauty is within reach if we just dig deep. Deep enough to find that there was never a key in sight that did not already belong to us. We never had to grasp for another's brass. Who's to tell us we don't open our own doors of success? Who's to tell us that there are locks on every door that reads economic equity, generational wealth sustainability? Who's to say when they scope the black and brown out, they find the diamond in the rough? With the magnifying glass, augmenting the specks of roughness to ostracize the object from its original form, the original truth. When you pick a diamond in the rough, is it not still a diamond picked from under dirt blood appearing under the microscope? exposing its qualities, being scrutinized for its realness as if it won't be cut, shaped, drilled for brilliance, only because it's a diamond in the rough. On the other side of the greenest grass, found beneath the volcanic heat, scorching blaze where eruption is guaranteed, the earth needs the diamonds to come crawling out the surface. A rough stone is not precious because it's cut. A rough stone is precious because it's stone that rose from heat. It's gem, whether or not it's qualified. It's rose of sea, piping legacy. It's raza, raza humana, human, black, human, brown, race cut, race scrutinized, diamond in the rough. Diamond in the rough. Cut this diamond and it'll light color, light red reflection, color light, color shines. There's a white light coming, white light shining at the end. There's God, there's city, there's mom, there's dad, there's kin, there's la raza humana, human, black, human, brown, human color, all humans of color, diamonds in the rough. Diamonds made excellent because of the rough. On this day, we leave our successors with a corpse. The bones of a plow that crowned the city, ignition to a road that has rebuilt its places with welcoming hands to diamonds in roughness. Diamonds not too brittle, not too dull, to illuminate the future for health, for youth of troops that a corpse can make lively, a room of working bodies to excel, a union that scopes diamonds in the rough. Thank you.
Chandela, give it up, my gosh. Wow. What a great way to start the week. What a great way to end the press conference. I don't think I'm betraying a private conversation when Josh Friday said, can we just take you around the state? So we might get some future bookings out of this, but thank you. And thank you to all the young people. We all know you could have told your story, spoken your poem, brought your truth to here, but really this is for you. And please spread the word to your peers, because this isn't supposed to exist in a vacuum, but in a community. I also want to thank C. Deidre Lind here and the Mayor's Fund for Los Angeles and all of our partners who really made this possible. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. And with that, unless there's any questions, all right. Thanks and have a wonderful week. Thanks, everybody.